Oh. Okay, remove the air plenum. And now you have better access to your alternator. Okay, then disconnect your battery. Negative first, positive last. And then you're going to want to take your belt off. So let's. Okay, remove your tire. Remove the splash shields to access the. Okay, use a 13mm or a 1/2 inch to get the belt off. As you can see, the tensioner is right behind there. Refer to your diagram, which is here. I have a video on how to remove, install, replace a belt. So get that off there and let's move to the alternator. Okay, the alternator on a 97 American Mystique Ford Contour is located on, there's your driver's side, there's your passenger side, so the front right portion. And your electrical connectors you want to disconnect now. There's one right down in there. It's a little clip, so just push that in, push, pull that out, and then it has a ground, so just follow the wire back here, and you're going to want to figure that out. Okay, there's your alternator, and you gotta disconnect the rest of these electrical connections. That white wire will have to be disconnected. And also there's a, see a little copper bolt. It's easier to see from underside, so let's look underside. Okay, right by the oil filter, here's the alternator, and as you can see, there's a bright, shiny, I don't know if you can see it or not, but there's a bright, shiny fastener that is just begging to be taken off. Okay, say hello, alternator. There's where the belt came off, the pulley, and then there is the bolt you need to remove and get this electrical plug. Find a way to get it off. So after you do that, then you can just take off that bolt, and there's a couple on top. So let's do it. Let's do it. Do it. Let's do it. Do it. Okay, you'll encounter this weird wire down here. It's a 10mm fastener, but it has a couple wires hooked into it. It's kind of hard to see, but there are a couple wires hooked into this bolt back here. So you just kind of have to get the socket on there really well, and take it off. Remember how the wires go inside there, and it's a good time. Okay, so I pulled that out of there. Here's what you're dealing with. A real cool rad. The top spins and the washer doesn't, and it's actually attached. So, and then down here is another wire. If I can maneuver around the camera. Alright, you can pull this out, and this is what was behind there. This cool wire. And so that's those two connections. So this bolt just kind of went down on top of that, just like so. And now it's time to get that ground off. Alright, now here's that other electrical. Oh, here's the other electrical wire. Just kind of pull it out, and that's what that looks like. So you push that in, and it slides in. So now we're ready to take off the fasteners, which one is up here, back there, and two are down there. So let's get to it, and we'll do the bottom ones first. Because they're okay. 13 millimeter on the bottom, right there. There's two bolts, one right there, and the other one is on the other side. So just get that off. 13 millimeter. Okay, the first bottom bolt you'll pull from the bottom of the alternator is this beast, and I finished it off with a 1/2 inch wrench because I had a socket wrench on there, a 13 millimeter, but as it loosened almost all the way, it got stuck behind the metal back here, so I didn't have enough clearance, so I had to finish it off with the wrench. And I'm going to use some PB Blaster on some of those bottom bolts or whatever on the alternator because some of them are really tough. Okay, here's the location of the other bolt. Way back there. I sprayed some PB Blaster on it, made sure I didn't get it inside the alternator, and I just used both my hands and got it loose. So there's that one, and then there should be one more on top. Okay, here's the location of the top bolt of the alternator, and it's right behind this negative wire, so you have to really place it in there. Be very careful. And I sprayed some PB Blaster with some penetrating oil on it, and be careful not to get it inside there. But that's what you want to do, is get that down in there, and then I'm just going to have to push on it really hard and keep it on there, or hit it with a hammer. So let's get to it. Let's do it. There we go. There we go. That's how you loosen it. Alright, let's take this beast out. Alright, try to get from the top. If it doesn't work from the top, we'll get it from the bottom. Oh man. Very little clearance here. It's heavy. It's fragile. I'm about to get it from the bottom probably. Oh. Okay, since it's a little wire, I was trying to pull it straight up, because if I pull it down, I'll have to take off the oil filter. I don't want to do that. So I have this power steering hose loosened, and I have the hammer pushed it. So I have the power steering hose pushed over. But there's a little wire back here. It's 8 millimeter. And I just want to get that off there. It's a little tiny ground wire. So I just want to get that out of the way. You can kind of see it from right there. It's this wire right here. So get that out of the way, and I should be able to pull the awesome alternator out of the vehicle. And that's how you remove it. Whoa! Alternator! And right in there is the alternator. Oh my goodness. The alternator is the entire thing. Okay, there it is in all its glory. The alternator with the pulley. And then there's where the bolts went in right there. There's one. There's another one. And another one. And then you can do some more testing in here. You can take these special screws off and access that inside there. And you can also clean the brushes inside and check it out. And there is an electrical connector right here, and then right here there's a cap with a shiny screw inside. It's shiny
bolt. So put that back on there. Alright, and electrical connection went in there, and it's just the alternator. It charges up your battery as you drive. As this pulley moves round and round, it's an electromagnet. You move iron around a bunch of loops of copper wire or any kind of wire that, you know, electrons are in everything.